This is Shireesha from Master of Business Administration, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. So, in this session, I'm going to talk about joint stock company, public enterprises, and their types. So, now coming to joint stock company, a joint stock company is a business owned collectively to share the shareholders, collectively by its shareholders. So it is a business owned by its investors, with each investment and owning their share to the amount of the stock they have purchased. So here, what we see as a joint stock company is, here a company is going to be started with many people. Okay, so we see many people who are engaged or involved in joint stock company, where each person is contributing for the company's capital. So here many people are contributing their capital in the form of a small unit called share. So once an individual is investing some amount of money in the joint stock company, then that person is called as shareholder. So here, collectively, all the shareholders together, these collective shareholders make a joint stock company. So here, based on the shares they have purchased, they are going to have their profit on that particular share. So this is a company where many people are coming together and they are going to make or form a company. So let's further know about what are the features of joint stock company. So the very first feature is that it is a separate legal entity. So what is this separate legal entity? So here many people are engaged in this business form of joint stock company. So in this, what we see is all these people are individually contributing their capital to joint stock company, but they are separate from the business. So business is different and these individuals are different. So here, as it is a separate legal entity, they are able to, like this joint stock company, on the name of joint stock company, it can earn its own assets. It can buy something on the name of that joint stock company. It is going to exist for like it is going to purchase some assets on the name of joint stock company. And not only that, like we are going to think it as it is a perpetual existence. Why it is perpetual existence? Because it is going to exist for longer duration, because here whoever are contributing as a share of that particular business are going to share their shares to some other, are going to transfer the shares to some other parties also. But it is going to exist for longer duration, where until the law exists, until the dissolution of the law or legal formalities are fulfilled, till then the organization is not going to be dissolved or closed. So it has a perpetual existence. So now coming to number of members in this joint stock company are, like in case of public limited company, we have minimum number of members are 7, and in case of maximum it is unlimited. And in private limited companies, we see generally like minimum number of members in this private limited companies only 2, and maximum can be to any extent. So now it has limited liability. Why it has limited liability? Because here it has got perpetual existence and it has got separate legal entity, where the company is different and the shareholders who are investing on that business are different. So here one cannot mix up, just like a sole tradership, like in case of sole proprietorship, what we see is if individual person or owner of that particular business is going to be liable for all the debts whatever are made on the name of that particular business, right? But in case of this joint stock company, so if joint stock company is taking loan from banks, from outsiders, or on the name of company, if any loan is taken, that company itself is responsible, not the shareholders of that company are responsible for that. So that's the reason here shareholders are having limited liability. And now they can, like, whoever are the shareholders, we call them as owners of the business. Of course, shareholders are of different types, like equity shareholders, preference shareholders, and debentures. We have different types of shareholders, but we generally call equity shareholders are the owners of the business. So they'll have the right to vote for the board of directors and elect a CEO. Okay, so here any shareholders who have invested on this joint stock company can easily transfer their shares on somebody's names also. Like they want to sell off their shares, they can sell off just by one click in demat account. They can transfer their shares to some other parties. And it is incooperative because based on the existence, based on the legality only, it can be existed or it can be incorporated. So according to the Act of Joint Stock Companies Act only, this company can be incorporated. And now let's see what are the types of joint stock companies. So the very first one is chartered company. So this chartered company can be incorporated only when a head of the state or a king of the kingdom is going to create a company. So like we can say East India Company, right? So East India Company is a chartered company. And the next one is registered company. Registered company can be anything, like we see generally Microsoft, Apple, Google, like Coca-Cola, YouTube. All these are registered companies where all are registered with the stock exchanges. Okay, so why the name is registered? Because it is registered with the Companies Act, as well as they are registered with the stock exchanges. Okay, according to the guidelines of SEBI, Securities Exchange Board of India, they are going to fulfill all the criteria to become a registered company. So they are registered companies which we generally see in our daily routine. And the next one we see is it is a statutory company. So a statutory company means it is created or it is incorporated according to the Act of Parliament. A company is going to be incorporated. Okay, so this is like, for example, we can take ONGC. So ONGC, one of the statutory company. So according to the Act of the Parliament, this company is going to be incorporated. And now coming to the public enterprise. So public enterprise means like any commercial or industrial undertakings which are owned by government and manages for social welfare is a public enterprise. Okay, so public enterprise is going to be created by government. Here government is going to incorporate the company or enterprise, and that is created only to help or to create some welfare to the people. This type of public enterprise is going to be is created. And now coming to features of public enterprise, the first one is public accountability. So here we see public accountability, and we also see separate legal entity, just like a joint stock company. So here, the people who are shareholders of this public enterprise are not going to have unlimited liability. They are going to have limited liability because they just invest. They are liable only to the extent of how much of investment they have made as a share value. So if the share value comes down, the value of their share comes down. Okay, but the amount of money which has taken on the name of company need not be paid by any of the shareholder of that public enterprise. Okay, so here this public enterprise is created only to help the people or to promote the social welfare in the society, and it is an autonomous body where it is going to conduct its all the activities by its own. It has financial monopoly because why it has financial autonomy, because they are going to have the very first step is financial incorporation will be done by the government, and to fix the price, like a profit, what is the profit they are going to earn in this public enterprise, they are going to calculate, and that profit is used for day-to-day conduct of the business. So likewise here, this public enterprise is not going to depend on any of the other parties. Okay, and next one is, it is always service motive to promote welfare activities. This kind of public enterprises are created by government, and it is totally controlled and managed by government only, and because it is a government owned organization or enterprise. So now let's see what are the different types of public enterprises. So generally these public enterprises are divided into three types, that is departmental undertakings, statutory corporations, and government companies. So we can see examples of these departmental undertakings are like postage, traveling, railways, like Doordarshan TVs or Doordarshan channels or All India Radio. All these are departmental undertakings. And coming to statutory companies, like we see like Food Corporation of India, like Industrial Finance Corporation of India, Life Insurance Corporation, all these comes under statutory corporations. And coming to government companies, we see like Hindustan Machine Tool Limited, Hindustan Shipyard Limited, Steel Authority of the Limited, BHEL. We see all these are government companies. So what we can observe here is that here you can see that Hindustan Machine Tools Limited. So if we see this kind of name, this is Hindustan Machine Tools Limited, right? So limited, the word limited is added for the public limited companies. That is what we have to make a note of it. Okay. So if it is government company, we can easily identify with the word limited in the name of the company. Okay. So if it is a private limited company, what we can see is the name private limited is added at the end of the name of that particular company. So that is the basic differentiation of public limited and private limited companies. Okay. And now coming to private enterprise. What are the private enterprises? So these private enterprises is an entity that is going to operate under the ownership of the management of individuals, that they are going to freely decide to develop the business, their own business idea, like HDFC or Airtel, all these things. And now let's see what is the difference between public limited company and a private limited company. Okay. So we are going to differentiate on various bases. So on the basis of objective of the private limited company is to maximize the profit, and objective of the public limited company is only for social welfare. And coming to ownership, on the basis of ownership, like like only individuals or group of individuals are going to become the owner of this private limited companies. And in case of public limited companies, central government or state government or any local authorities, local bodies, authority bodies are going to become the owners of that particular public limited companies. And coming to management, so they are run by owners and partners, like run by owners in case of partnership and sole proprietorship. And the board of directors are going to manage all the activities of that particular business in case of uh, other type of private limited companies. Okay. And like coming to public limited companies, like they are managed by like central and state government, or sometimes we can see both of them are going to be managed. And in case of capital, who is going to contribute the capital to private limited and public limited companies? So here, in case of sole proprietorship, like only owner of that sole proprietorship, he himself individually contributes the capital. In case of partnership, like how many partners they are engaged, so those many partners are going to contribute the capital. And coming to the private limited company, in this we see shareholders are going to contribute to the company, okay, as a capital. And in case of public limited company, like central government or state government or sometimes general public is going to arrange the capital. And the next one is like area of operation, how they are going to operate. Okay, so it is going to operate in all the areas with the exceptions of national security, which is sufficient to return on investment. So what is the investment they have made and how much of return they are going to earn? That will be the major motive on the part of the private limited companies. But in case of public limited companies, they are going to operate in basic and public utility sectors. So these are the basic differences between public and private limited enterprises. And the next form of the organizations we see in business organizations is non-profit organizations. Like we see some charity, charity donating firms and all, right? So the major, these type of organizations goal is to serve the public. Okay, for the benefit of the public, they have constituted a non-profit organization where they are providing the service. And this type of organizations have a tax benefit and tax exemption. Okay, so whatever profit or whatever charities they are receiving for receiving and spending for that particular charity organization also not charged any type of taxation. Okay, so here all the donations made to the non-profit organizations are tax free. Okay, so here these organizations are also called as NPOs, or we also call them as 501c3 section organizations, based on the section, which is the section code that is going to permit them to operate this kind of non-profit organizations. And now coming to the next and the last type of business type of organization is cooperative societies. So these cooperative societies are like group of people are coming together and join together voluntarily to share the democratically controlled enterprises to achieve some type of goal, like economic, social or cultural welfare activities. They are going to come together voluntarily and make a association, which we call it as a cooperative society. So here the features of this cooperative society is like we'll have voluntary membership like voluntary membership to anyone who wants to be part of that particular cooperative society. And here the owner's leadership is going to come with a membership. Okay, so if you are member of that, then you can become a leader out of that society. And the next one is like the next one is they all the people who are engaged or who have formed this cooperative society, all are equal and they have equal right to vote and elect a member for the cooperative society. And next one is education for the members and the general public can be given. And this is generally we see in a community minded operations. Okay, thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.